All right, guys, Don Ross with REI Automation Squad and bestdamnsalescrm.com. Going to go through the A2P registration through CallRail. This is something that has to be done. They set a hard deadline date of the end of August 2023. Without that approval, you're not going to be able to send out text messages. Now, current time, it's anything from a couple hours of getting approval, which is very rare, to typically 1 to 2 weeks, and worst case scenario, I'm seeing somewhere upwards of 30 days right now to get approved for this stuff. The interim type answer to maybe text a little faster than waiting that period out would be to get a toll-free 800 number, 833 number on your account, and then request approval through that. There's a lot less restrictions on the toll-free numbers in the meantime. The A2P is just something you're going to have to work through. This is, along the lines of the stir shaken and some of the other requirements that the federal government, FTC, is kind of working through. Carriers are blocking certain texts that have certain wording. You've got to have at least the opt-out language, or you should have opt-out language such as the stop buttons or replying stop. My recommendation would be to use other words such as no thank you, remove me, things of that nature, which will not kind of hit the targets of the stop, and the carriers see that they're pressing that stop. So those are some thoughts right now, but we're going to go into the lead center inside of this account. This is one of the accounts that we have through CallRail, and you'll be able to see inside the lead center by going into just one of these areas that you should be able to start working the A2P registration requirement and some of the questions that it's going to ask. So just give me a minute, I'll pull that up and we'll start working through that. All right, just last week you were able to go into the lead center under the texting bubble and submit the registration. They've changed it, but I'll make sure that this website link is in the bottom description of the video. You can see up here, you can click for the initial registration form. Once you do so, this is what's going to pop up, and you can see it's just been updated 2 hours ago. So this is still something that is fluently changing, unfortunately, as the carriers kind of define what it is that they're looking for and expecting. With that said, you can see here CallRail is charging 19 bucks just to attempt to get your registration approved for one time, and then $1.50 every month. So just know that there's some additional cost that comes in with being approved. Here's some basic information that you're going to have to provide to CallRail. They are essentially submitting it to the carriers, to the agencies, so that you can then be reviewed and approved. This is really not a CallRail thing. So understand that whether you're going through CallRail, Smartphone, Just Call, Twilio, etc., they are not the ones really providing the answers, approved, not approved, and why it's disapproved. So this is definitely a fluid situation as of August, September of 2023. You're going to have to push through. I can tell you the hoop itself is going to stop a bunch of people from even filling out the paperwork and getting approved or sending text messages. So if anything, look at this as something that's going to reduce your competition. So jump the hoops. Submit the information, push through. I know plenty of people that unfortunately have pushed through, got disapproved first time, had to go through a second or third time. And so just know that that is kind of the norm at this point currently. So go ahead, make sure you have some of this information. You are going to have an EIN number unless you're a sole prop. If you submit it without an EIN number and then they dig into your company, which they will, and figure out that you do have an EIN number, even if you are initially approved, they are coming back through and disapproving accounts that were initially approved. So make sure if you have an EIN number and all that good stuff, you are actually providing it. So you can kind of see here some of the different company information that you're going to need. I would, think about things like, hey, we're not texting people cold. We're not just basically reaching out to people. These are people that either filled out our website form. These are people that ordered a product or service from us. These are people that reached out to us, and then we are contacting them. Now, if they're filling out a form or anything like that on your web page, aka web form, there's some opt-in language that you're going to have that CallRail is making sure that you're telling these people that by submitting their web form, they understand that you're going to be contacting them via text message. Understand that you do need to have that on your website near your web form, and they're going to look for that when they go through approving your stuff. So again, take a look at the stuff that they're telling you to put in there. Give some examples of the texts that are going out, texts that you're allowing opt-in, opt-out. Just be smart about this. You know, you're trying to contact people that are reaching you or ordering products and services from you. You are not just randomly texting out to people cold and trying to touch base with them for the first time. When you do reach out to them, you are going to have to provide an opt-out text message of some sort on the initial point of contact. Now, that doesn't matter if you talk to them on other phone numbers or not. When you reach out to them on a phone number, you do need an initial opt-out. So think about that. I'm going to go ahead and start submitting some information on form here. I will come back and just show a little bit of the information. Some of it, obviously, with the EIN number and some other stuff. I'll probably block out some of the stuff that I show, but I'll give you a basic idea of what we submit here as a guideline. Now, like I told you, there's been a bunch of accounts that I've seen get approved, 15, 20 different accounts, all the same wording, and then all of a sudden 10 or 15 of them get them disapproved. So it's very hit or miss on what's getting approved, what's not getting approved right now. Just understand that I'm giving a guideline, not a 100%, this is what's going to get approved type show. So take that into account. All right, so this is a web form that CallRail is making all their clients fill out. Note this is kind of a CIA or CYA on their part. 10,000 per compliant, some of the fines and penalties that are possible with this if you're not doing what you need to do. You're filling out your emails and all that good stuff. They're telling you what the fees are going to be. 2,000 texts or less is going to be your monthly recurring $1.50. If you have high volume over 2,000, then you obviously have some different fees. Again, filling in business name, address, things of that nature, and then obviously there's going to be some more on the next. And as soon as I get some of the stuff filled out, I will go back and show a little bit of what we put in here, okay? All right, I said I would come back through and show some of the form and responses. So CallRail specifically, this is the Google form that they're requiring for you to fill out and get approved for the campaigns. You can see here they've got high volume, low volume, filling out some different information in there. Address, pretty simple, just fill in the address. The next one is going to ask for, I believe, EIN number, so I'm not going to go on that one. The website, I'll pull it up here in a second, but we've got specific user agreement page that outlines text message consent when they're filling out forms, orders, sending requests to support for us. But you can do the same thing for any type of business. You know, they're reaching out to you for some product or service in filling out a request for a call, request for, you know, reaching out to them, scheduling a call, filling out a support request, etc., or, you know, wanting your product or service. They're filling out a form. In doing so, they're giving consent and put that onto a web page. What type of business is it? What kind of industry are you in? Public or private? Some different messaging and what does that look like? When do you reach out? Some examples of those messaging. You can see that there. And at that point, you're sent in. You're waiting for approval. Now, like I said, this can be anything from a couple hours to likely a week or two, and worst case, up to 30 days is what CallRail says. So you got to stand by, wait, and it's up to the carriers to approve your stuff or not, and then you have to make the needed adjustments from there to get your approval. Once you're approved, then obviously you can send out text messages, but it doesn't mean all of a sudden it's a free-for-all. Remember that you're agreeing to send out text messages the first time that you make contact with opt-out language, things of that nature. They need to know that they opted in. If you get caught not doing those types of things, you're going to likely have your account suspended or shut off. So you are having to worry about compliances, those that are marking you guys as junk or spam on their actual phone when you reach out to them. Give them a way to opt out so that you're not getting that junk or spam marked on the phone itself, which is going to the carrier. The carrier will reach out to, you know, CallRail, Smartphone, Twilio. They'll shut down your account if you have too many of them. So unfortunately, at this point, you know, the old days of just blasting 1,000, 2,000 plus messages in a day might not be the case if you don't have a great list that's opted in. You're not going to be able to get away with some of that stuff anymore. So any questions, concerns, let me know. I'm going to pull up my webpage. And you can see right here, phone, voice, text message. They give consent by reaching out on web forms or to support, placing an order, scheduling a call, to have us reach out via text message. So they're giving consent. This is what I gave as a web page to CallRail to see that we're reaching out to them. Now, on CallRail's form specifically, they require a website. So I know that there's been other things, and through Twilio and some others, if you reach out to support, they don't necessarily require a website. I can tell you right now, to go through CallRail, there was no option. You had to provide a website. So if you don't have a website, how are you able to register? Short of reaching out to their support, you're not going to be able to. And I think that's the same with Twilio and some of the others. Without reaching out to their support and potentially being sole prop or something else, without a website, you're not getting approved. So take that into consideration as well. If you are a real estate investor, one of the ones that are out there that a whole lot of us use is OnCare. I'll make sure the link's down below. They'll get you up and running and started, and you can have that terms of service and things of that nature, up and going in less than 30 minutes probably, to have a website ready to go and be able to submit some stuff. So let us know if you have any questions. We'll see you on the next video.